So, go ahead,
unfortunately, you can bend here. You want this officer to explain to you? I can have that. I'm on right now.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
What's that?
I just don't understand.
What's going on? Hey, I'm pretty sure you are. Yep. Said he didn't understand. How you doing, sir?
I don't even know you, brother. Yeah.
So
good afternoon. How may I help you, gentlemen, tonight?
So
I'm actually going home.
Oh, okay. How may I don't know. He just came and started talking to me. Now I'm not under arrest and I'm not being detained, so I don't have to speak to anybody here. But I'm recording this because basically
you are being recorded as well, sir.
Good. And so everybody's on notice that I'm recording everybody here. Now, if anybody has a claim against me, I'm right here. But I've already talked to you guys before. I talked to you guys several days ago. Good. Well, the people I talk to, I let them know that they don't have a claim against me. So to let you know the same thing, nobody has a claim against me. And now there's no crimes being committed here. And I'm going to remain silent, and I don't have anything to say to anybody here. So I would just hope that everybody be at peace, and then we can have a peaceful time. Do you guys agree?
Absolutely. So here's the thing. So, sir, my question is, do you have any type of permit to set up?
So I was real upfront, so I'm going to remain silent. Okay. Now, I'm not committing any crimes on the public street.
So my question is...
My thing is that I'm going to remain silent now. I have nothing else to say to anybody.
Well, it's funny. You keep claiming to remain silent, but you're still talking, so it's kind of contradicting itself.
Well, besides people, you understand that, so I'm going to remain silent now.
It's Sergeant Nukker, star number 2334 at the San Francisco Police Department.
For the record, we have a man purporting to be Sergeant what?
Nukker.
We have a man purporting to be Sergeant Nukker, for the record, bearing a badge number 2334, and he was notified that I do not wish to speak to Sergeant Badker, or whatever name he purported to be. Now, I will begin recording for a record. This will be a record for the court case that may be ensuing on the basis that they're depriving me of rights under the color of law, and that they have no jurisdiction whatsoever, and that they have no probable cause to even speak to me. So for the record, let the record reflect, this recording will show that these persons are engaged in harassment and they're engaging in deprivation of rights under color of law. That is a crime under Title 18, Section 19, Title 18, Section 241, and Title 18, Section 242. This is also a deprivation of rights under color of law. That's Title 42, Section 1983. They are warned it's a trespass and it's a commercial disparagement. Tacos.
So I'll ask again, sir, do you have any type of permit to set up tables, sell any of the equipment here, anything like that, sir?
Have a nice day, sir. Thank you very much. Tacos. We have carne asada, we have pollo, we have vegan tacos.
Yeah, go ahead and put me on a 909 at 33 Powell regarding possible illegal vending.
How you doing, man? Good. Oh, well, these gentlemen they're just stopping by to see what we got going today. But everything is good. How you guys doing today?
Yes, well, the first thing is I want to see if you have any permits to set up and sell, sir.
Okay, I'm going to step by and talk to the gentleman. You go ahead. He's bothering our business, so you go ahead.
It's a fair question, sir.
Yeah. Step aside, because right now you're interfering with my commerce. You understand what I'm saying? So let's step aside where you're not interfering with my commerce.
Okay, sir. So, talk right here, sir.
Come here.
No, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, sir.
Now, I've been very cordial with you.
Absolutely.
Now, I've notified you that there's not a crime being committed here, and do you agree that we have not committed any crime in your presence? Yes or no?
I have not made that determination yet, sir.
Okay.
Okay. See, I received a call from the business association here of possible vending here. That's why I'm coming to see what exactly is going on. I have not made any determination yet. That's why I wanted to talk to you about it.
So I want to tell you this.
Yes, sir.
There was another gentleman, I don't know his name, I have a 33-minute recording of him.
Okay.
Now, he was standing here doing the same thing, he was standing looking at my stand, and so he placed himself in a position to where he can obstruct my stand. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand,
I'm calling it a stand because you understand that that's the word that you probably are familiar with. Now, this is not a stand, this is my food establishment here, okay? Now, what I'm trying to say is that I notified the gentleman that I will have to attach his property. Now, I don't know if you understand what attachment is.
I understand.
That's when somebody's interfered with your rights and then you have to go ahead and take a non-judicial action. That action is called attachment.
Okay.
And so I let him know that if he interferes with my property, he doesn't have any proper law, because he doesn't have any law. In other words, there's no crime being committed, he has no reason to speak to me. Now, I let him know that if he interferes with my property, I will place a $1 million lien against all of his assets. And I have to warn you the same thing. And the reason why is it's not a threat, it's due notice. So I must notice you that because right now you're interfering with my stand and people are feeling uncomfortable. Well,
here, just how you feel, so you're setting up right here to stand here in a public place. I can stand, or anybody else can stand in the area.
You sure can, but not in a method that's obstructing what I'm doing. So the way you were standing was making
that's open to interpretation, sir.
Well, but it's what I'm saying. I'm willing to file a criminal complaint because we called to make a criminal complaint on those persons who came.
What's the criminal complaint? It sounds like more of a FFS, a civil complaint. Well, what would be the criminal complaint?
I would say this:
because if they're interfering with your business, that's a civil matter, not a criminal matter.
I disagree.
Okay.
I would call it trespass. Criminal trespass.
Where's the trespass? Where's the threshold?
Well, this is my space right here. In other words, I'm occupying the space. So I basically said that this portion of the sidewalk, I'm occupying that. So if anybody now comes and forcefully or any sort of method intrudes on my behavior here, I'm going to say that you're interfering with my right to exist here. You understand what I'm saying? So all I would ask is that if they want to observe, they stand back in the area where they can properly observe, to where it's not obstructing the people.
What makes the boundary 2 feet, 5 feet? How does that? Who makes up that thing for public space?
I just watched the people's expression.
Okay. Well,
now,
like I said,
the lady's expression, she said that, oh, I don't know if I feel comfortable buying a taco. So that's when I said, well, let's step aside. Because I said I was going to remain silent. That only goes so far as when I need to protect a right that's being invaded. So you're attempting to interfere in my commerce. Now I have somebody on record that's going to be a witness for me. Because the gentleman that I told you last time who was interfering with commerce, I had a bunch of bystanders appear and that they actually heard what he said. Now what he said was, the sergeant told him that it's time to go. He said, I can stand here and wait them out. In other words, try to intimidate us. The sergeant said, why would you do that? And then they left. Now I have a man.
I can't speak on what happened last time. I'm here what's going on today.
Yes.
And now.
Yes.
So I can only speak of right now.
So I understand what you've done.
Okay.
They have switched up and placed new people on this beat.
Not new people. It's not anything like that, sir.
Okay. Well then, contact the sergeant and I can get his name.
I am the sergeant, sir.
Okay. Well, contact the other sergeant and then maybe he can brief you.
What's his name or her name?
Marty, do we have any idea what the sergeant's name was? I have to go through my records.
Like I said, what happened with that? I'm focused on today, sir.
Well. All right. Well, what do you want to do about this? Because I'm gonna have to start making calls again. What time is it? It's 5:10 right now, so they chose to come when the office is closed. But I just don't want these guys interfering with our business. You know what I'm saying? All right. So are you gonna be on your way? Or are you gonna stand here or what?
I'm sorry, sir?
That's all. Were you planning on being on your way? Are you going to stand here and bother me, or what? I just want to understand what's going on.
I don't know what's bothering you, sir, but I have every right to stand right here.
All right.
I don't see the need for me to move.
How you doing, my lady?
I'm good.
All right.
It's not that you need to move, it just makes the presence like what's going on over here.
That's what I was trying to explain to him.
It's deterring from
I know.
sales.
No, I understand. And the reason why I was called out here is because business is called regarding this, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, and that's why I'm out here right now.
Let me explain something, man. He's just trying to harass me. It's an intimidation tactic.
It is.
Yeah.
You're saying I have every right to stand right here instead of asking what you need to ask and then going about your day. And then it's like deterring sales from customers.
Well, let me tell you like this.
And if you understood that, I mean, you supposedly understand that.
Well, the first part of what you said is if he would answer my questions, and he's actually refused to answer some of my questions. So that's the issue too.
I feel you.
It's all right, man.
Yeah.
So,
because I want to point out.
So I'm engaging in free, right? So
50 feet over there has
been here forever
and has all the permits and everything to be there. So that's why I asked regarding if he had any permits already. And if he does have permits, then it's all good, and I'll be out of here.
I'm sorry, my sister, about all this. Yeah. But while you're here, I'm going to educate you about his authority because he thinks that he has some sort of authority to approach me and demand documents. So
I asked to see it.
No, I'm going to tell her. But so he was asking me about licensing and stuff. So let me instruct you about the law. He's bound to the 4th and 5th Amendments to the Constitution. He's subject to that, which means that he cannot do anything that violates the Constitution. Now, under the 4th Amendment, okay, if anybody wishes to seize any of my property, he must have a warrant. So if he wants to interfere with my stand, he must have a warrant for my arrest, or he must see me commit a crime that he saw in person, or he must have somebody by way of affidavit who's witnessed the crime.
Right.
He doesn't have any of that. So he's trying to force and compel me to speak, to give him information that somehow has to do with what he's investigating. Now, anytime somebody's investigating, you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to speak.
Right.
So he can't touch my stand, but he'll attempt to threaten me and now start harassing the people. So that's why he was standing there, because he wants to try to dissuade people from coming here.
Right.
You understand?
Can I have
yes.
a steak taco and a Sprite?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're municipal agents. They work for the municipal city of San Francisco. Now, the municipal city is not a government, it's a corporation, the same as the federal United States. So they're always trying to establish that they have some sort of authority and jurisdiction to rob you of your right to exist and your right to be. So
And make money. And
I stand on my rights. I have federal lawsuits pending. I'm suing George Gascon. I'm suing three judges at the Superior Court.
Right.
And so what he doesn't know is that there's not anybody that can even hear me in the court, because the court has no jurisdiction over anything I'm doing today. He doesn't know that. But that's why I'm explaining you that.
Sir?
Huh?
Do you recognize the Sheriff's Department?
I recognize the law of the land, which is the supreme law of the land. Also recognize the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1786 and 1836, in which I stand under. I'm a Moorish American national. You understand that?
You're what, sir?
I'm a Moorish American national.
What is that, sir?
Okay, so we are descendants of the Moroccans. We are also descendants of the ancient Moabites.
You don't even need to tell them that.
Yeah, I know that.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're wasting everybody's breath and time.
If you want
to
I'll listen.
No, I mean, because it's really just petty.
I wanted to know what.
I understand. It just makes you look. It makes you look. And then you know what people do. I have the right to. I mean, nobody. You know what I mean? I just don't get it.
I understand, sis.
It's no point in even telling him about any of that, because we all know what's going on. You think that people would come up here and set up shop if they didn't have some type of permit?
I've seen people set up without permits before. Yes.
Okay, I feel you, whatever. I don't care. I'm supporting.
So we're gonna, so all we gotta do is we just gotta educate ourselves about who's who and what's what.
Right.
We've been
Obviously, you've educated yourself because you've probably been over there doing the
The city of San Francisco, every so-called municipal corporation, they like to think that they're the government and they run the world. So they think that they can violate all the laws and they think that they can do whatever they wish. But the thing is that when you start to bring them into legal contemplation, then everything changes. So that's why you must learn how to file lawsuits. You must learn how to file commercial liens and non-judicial processes, because that's how you actually get people to comply with the supreme law of the land. So anybody that interferes, we have a worker that she's on a break right now. She'll be back any minute. Now, what he doesn't understand is that she's getting paid per hour. So if he interferes with my business, interferes with anything I'm doing here, he's going to have to be liable for all her costs. He doesn't know that. So I explained that to him. So I'm explaining out loud so he's hearing me. So now I know that he's being noticed everything I'm saying. You understand? Yeah. How you doing, man? Good, thank you.
I got a steak taco, please.
Sure.
Just out of curiosity, sir, do you consider yourself or part to be part of the sovereign citizen?
No, I'm certainly not. But the reason why I have to answer that is I really don't want to speak to you, but I got to make the best I can for the people. So it's just really uncomfortable when you're standing there. So I keep going in and out, and I have to instruct people at the same time. Sovereign citizens are known as domestic terrorists. You understand that?
No, they're not.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been informed about, and that's what I'm suing actually some people about right now.
Okay.
And that's what I've actually submitted a Freedom of Information Act request to the Sheriff's Department, to which they've actually returned a non-response because that's a pseudo tactic being used to criminalize a body of free people. So anybody that would call me a sovereign citizen is basically, I would say that, look, man, maybe I understand that that's not something that you want to call somebody. Sovereign citizen is a domestic terrorist according to the unofficial customs and policies of the United States. And so those persons are not persons which are so-called. In other words, you have no reputation or good character in that standing. And so I refuse for anybody to call me or associate me with that. You understand?
I said that's why I asked if you consider yourself.
Yes. But I would appreciate it if you would just be on your way. Now.
No, man, this is part of my job.
Yeah.
I know, but it's other shit going on.
Yeah.
Oh, like what?
Like, two other classes were standing here and it left.
No, actually, they were security officers. They weren't SFPD, ma'am.
Yeah.
It must be a slow day.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's your opinion.
All right, my dear. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Have a good
And
day.
we have the
Enjoy.
best tacos here in San Francisco. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, got a steak taco.
All right, who's your direct supervisor? Because basically what I want to do is I'm going to contact your supervisor and ask them to ask you to leave or ask them to come down here and talk to me about this because I'm going to have to start making claims against people.
Okay.
Just because this is making me feel very uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, you
Yeah.
know, for the simple things I've asked for.
Yeah.
But you know what? Tell you what.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay. And tell
And I'm
what.
just trying to be respectful too, because I recognize most of the things with cops, they have an ego thing. They don't want you challenging their authority. That's why I was trying to explain to you that I'm not challenging your authority. I'm explaining that the authority that you may be acting under is not present, is all I'm saying. So it has nothing to do with you as a man. It has to do with what you think you're acting under. So that's what I was going with that. I respect everybody. I respect you as a man. I respect all the people. But it's just that, you know, I got to do what I got to do, and I got to survive. And so I'm going to have to follow the law. You know what I mean? But that's all.
Okay. So just in terms of law and stuff, like the simple question I asked you earlier is do you have any permits to set up here?
Yeah, but I told you I'm going to remain silent. I don't have to speak
All right,
about that.
man.
Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. You know, sometimes they come around and try to harass me, and you know, they want to make me show licenses and stuff like that, and I have to tell them, like, please just leave us alone. You're scaring people away. People, you know, they get scared. So you know, he finally left, but it's just, or he'll go and leave and come back. But it's just, you know, sometimes they. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Glad we're here.
To get like real,
Yeah, it's hard. Yes, it is.
oh my god, I can't find any Jack in the Box. All right.
That's really sweet. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. We've been like the cornerstone in this community. All these people, they know us, like Sephora, we got T-Mobile, we got like, yes. Yes. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah. So I'm now ending this record.
Well, keep it on. Just there, walking.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm to end the record now.